Hello everyone, and welcome back to Blood Moon. As you can see, I'm back at my base. Between episodes, not only to get Blood Skull back here, but I put Fall of the Snow Prince, the Snow Prince's spear, and over there, the Snow Prince's armor, back into my space. Sorry, I thought my intelligence had been damaged. Turned out, no, I'm just stupid. Wait. Anyway, the stall rating's also been dropped because while it's quite useful, it's also 5 pounds a piece, which isn't exactly light. Now, Spear of the Snow Prince is honestly pretty It's an iron spear, but it's got okay enchantments, 10% weakness to frost, and frost damage, and disintegrating armor, but for the sort of things you're going to be throwing around in Blood Moon, it's just not very good. I'm sorry, but it's just not very good. Like, look at the rest of the Snow Prince's armor. This is better than steel, normally, although it is less durable, but it's just not very good in the time of Blood Moon. However, we do have a nice book to read, The Fall of the Snow Prince. An account of the Battle of the Moisring is transcribed by Locaim, chronicled to the chieftain Ingjalder Whiteeye. From whence he came, we did not know, but into the battle he rode, on a brilliant steed of pallid white. Elf we called him, for elf he was, yet unlike any other of his kind we had ever seen before that day. His spear and armor bore the radiant and terrible glow of unknown magicka. So adorned, this unknown rider seemed more white than warrior. Well, yes, he already said he was on a white steed. What troubled, nay, frightened us most that moment was the call that rose in the elven ranks. It was not fear, not wonder, but an unabashed and unbridled joy. The kind of felicity felt by a damned man who has been granted a second chance at life. For at that time, the elves were as damned and near death as they had ever been during the great skirmishes of Solstheim. The Battle of the Moisring was to be the final stand between Nord and Elf on our fair island. Led by Ysgramor, we had driven the Elven Scourge from Skyrim. Falmer! Dwemer! Old ruins! And were intent on cleansing Solstheim of their kind as well. Our warriors, armed with the finest axes and swords the Nord craftsmen could forge, cut great swaths through the enemy ranks. The slopes of the Moisring ran red with elf blood. Why then would our foe rejoice? Could one rider bring such hope to an army so hopeless? To most of our kind, the meaning of the call was clear. The words were but a litany of elven chants and cries. Ah, languages! I like that nice touch. They don't know not everyone knows what the elves are saying, they just know, well, they sound happy. There were some among us, however, the scholars and chroniclers, who knew well the words and shuddered at their significance. The Snow Prince has come! Doom is at hand! There was then a great calm that overcame the elves that still stood. Through their mass the Snow Prince did ride, and as the longboat slices the icy waters of the Fjalding, he parted the ranks of his kin. The magnificent white horse slowed to a gallop, then a trot, and the unknown elf rider moved to the front of the line at a slow, almost ghost-like pace. This is a very good book for setting the mood, as it were. It very much sets up that they're dealing with something almost incomprehensible, really. Like, something that is too big, too much. A Nord warrior sees much in a life of bloodshed and battle, and is rarely surprised by anything armed combat may bring. But few among us that day could have imagined the awe and uncertainty of a raging battlefield that all at once went motionless and silent. That had to be creepy as hell. Such is the effect the Snow Prince had on us all. For when the joyous cries of the elves had ended, There remained a quiet known only in the solitude of slumber. It was then our combined host, elf and Nord alike, were joined in a terrible understanding. Victory or defeat mattered little that day on the slopes of the Morrowind Mountains. The one truth we all shared was that death would come to many that day, victor and vanquished alike. The glorious Snow Prince, an elf unlike any other, did come that day to bring death to our kind. And death he so brought. Like a sudden, violent snow squall that rends travelers blind and threatens to tear loose the very foundations of the sturdiest hall, the Snow Prince did sweep into our numbers. Indeed, the ice and snow did begin to swirl and churn about the elf, as if called upon to serve his bidding. The spinning of that gleaming spear whistled a dirge to all those who would stand in the way of the Snow Prince, and our mightiest fell before him that day. Wolfgi Anvil Hand, Strom the White, Frida Oaken Wand, Heimdall the Frenzied, all lay dead at the foot of the Morrowind Mountains. For the first time that day, it seemed the tide of battle had actually turned. The elves, spurred on by the deeds of the Snow Prince, rallied together for one last charge against our ranks. It was then, in a single instant, that the Battle of the Morrowind came to a sudden and unexpected end. Finna, daughter of Jofroor, a lass of only 12 years and squire to her mother, watched the Snow Prince cut down her only parent. In her rage and sorrow, Finna picked up Jofroor's sword and threw it savagely at her mother's killer. When the elf's gleaming spear stopped its deadly dance, the battlefield fell silent and all eyes turned to the Snow Prince. No one that day was more surprised than the elf himself at the sight that greeted them all. For on his great steed, the Snow Prince still sat, the sword of Jofroor buried deeply in his breast. And then he fell, from his horse, from the battle, from life. The Snow Prince lay dead, slain by a child. With their savior defeated, the spirit of the remaining elfin warriors soon shattered. Many fled, and those that remained on the battlefield were soon cut down by our broad Nord axes. When the day was done, all that remained was the carnage of the battlefield. From that battlefield came a dim reminder of valor and skill, for the brilliant armor and spear of the Snow Prince still shined. Even in death, this mighty and unknown elf still filled us with awe. It is common practice to burn the corpses of our fallen foes. This is as much a necessity as it is custom, for death brings with it disease and dread. Yeah, rotting people are stinky and have diseases. Very good. The fact that they figure this out is honestly kind of impressive for what is generally kind of medievalish civilization. You know? That's rather impressive. Our chieftains wished to cleanse Solstheim of the elven horde in death as well as life. We decided, however, that such was not to be the fate of the Snow Prince. One so mighty in war, yet so loved by his kin, deserved better, even in death, even if an enemy of our people. So we brought the body of the Snow Prince, wrapped in fine silks, to a freshly dug barrow. The gleaming armor and spear were presented on a pedestal of honor. The tomb was arrayed with treasures worthy of royalty. All of the mighty chieftains agreed with this course, that the elf should be so honored. His body would be preserved in the barrow for as long as the earth chose, but would not be offered the protection of our Stalhrim, which was reserved for Nord dead alone. So ends this account of the Battle of the Morrowind and the fall of the magnificent elven Snow Prince. May our gods honor him in death, and may we never meet his kind again in life. It's a very classic story. One lone hero rides to the rescue of an entire army, desperate in their last stand, looking for anything to turn the tide. And so the tide turned. But then the hero died. Now where are you? Hello, Arthelor. Yes. Okay, are you trying to get me drunk? The Reichlands. fuck me. How long has that been on? Anyway. The Snow Prince, quite simply, is... Let's give you a book. Yep.
Welcome. If you wish to talk, it is really no trouble at all.
Yeah, the Snow Prince was very impressive.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Let's put that spear back. I thought we needed it for evidence too, but we don't. Let's lay it in my collection. It's one of the few items of really mundane capability I have. Well done, Snow Prince, Falmer, whatever you were. Your sword lies alongside legends. Rather your spear, I suppose. Old, powerful relics dot this land, and yet... among these practically titanic, not world-shaking blades, they could enable even the least of warriors to take on many times their number. Turn the greatest into slaughter gods beyond compare. That simple spear with its simple enchantment will stand among them, beside them, with them. Well done, Snow Prince. And it is good that you died before you saw what happened to your successors in Skyrim. If there is a way to kneel in respect in this game, I'd do so before this corpse. Almost certainly. The corpse of the Snow Prince. But we have a duty. Let us fulfill our duty. Let me search the Berserker, please. Nothing of interest. Right. Would this be what I'm looking for? Well, this is the Cave of Hidden Music, everyone. Let's look through the items. Honestly, of these two, I'd go for the glass Jink Blade over the Dwemer Jink Sword simply because it's so much lighter. They'll strike a lot faster due to being a dagger. Other than that, there's not much of really interest for me to say about that specific loot drop. I know that's a bit boring, but we just covered the Snow Prince, so... let us find the music of the earth and resume it. This looks like a place, not of music, but of equipment. I'll take these rubies and emeralds. Some minor potions there as well, should you wish to acquire them, but otherwise there is very little in this room of interest. Gems, potions, that's really it. this room, of course, there's a chest. With... I suppose I'll take a quality restore health. By the way, if you don't have an especially strong artifact class magic item, I will strongly suggest acquiring a Nordic silver weapon of your preferred type. I will very strongly suggest doing this. It will help greatly. Trust me. If there's anything you're gonna trust me on, trust me on that. My. What it... Okay. That's new. Ah, the Chamber of Song. That's where you want to go. Or rather, where I don't want to go, because I want to explore the whole barrow first. You understand? For example, down here is another chest, with a potion next to it of Fortify Health. I don't really think I need that. A Ring of Fireballs is quite the decent item, as is a Ring of Shadow form. That Armorer's Hammer, though, is quite valuable indeed. Also, I'm going to put my brandy in here, because I don't really want the Cyrodiilic brandy, nor do I really want this Nord meat. Corpses of this land, consider this an offering to the many of you I have felled. Again and again and again, without mercy, without remorse, and without really giving you a good fight, simply because you are so outmatched. Perhaps that is a way to die well for you. Dying to something so far beyond you could not really consider it a fight. Whatever you feel, corpses. I don't know. The dead do not speak. Indeed, they don't even have names. Draugr. 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 So many who out of desperation feast on human flesh. At least no one's going to be threatened by them anymore. That was the game. A Ring of Wildfire, which is one of the best offensive items in the game, frankly. In this little cache is some gems and some gold. Quite useful, as you can see. Really not useful, but gems and gold, you know? Down here is a bargain restore fatigue. I have no idea whether there be a bargain potion at this stage, because that's completely garbage for anyone. Take a gold beast, though. Now, sometimes this sound won't actually play. Which is, for obvious reasons, very annoying. Because this sound is quite necessary. You may notice that this is a specific, steady pattern. Yes. Afternoon. Most beloved cat. Again, nothing of interest in here. Pity. Ah! That's where they hit it. Let's restore health. Very nice. Clever hiding. I approve, game. You can just see see that chest peeking out, can't you? This is actually the strongest generic chameleon item in the game, so it's pretty good if you're a stealth build. But, well, I'm not a stealth build, to say the least. Here we are! Now you can figure that out just by basically brute forcing it, which was what I did the first time, because I have absolutely no musical sense. I feel no shame in admitting this, I have absolutely no musical sense at all. Like, at all. Just none. Fuck me. Earth. Okay, I'm going to actually try and mess around with this. You're not going to see any of this, so... Properties. Holy shit, that worked. I thought I was going to have to destroy that recording, ladies and gentlemen, but we are not going to have to. In fact, I've found a way around it. I guess I simply need to get out and get back in, which is actually something I hadn't expected. So there's only minor flickers from now on. It's actually a very useful discovery, and hopefully it will apply to Oblivion as well, in case it goes buggy. So yeah. You guys may have seen some black screen there for a moment and some odd silences as I muttered to myself. But now we can continue on with Blood Moon. Unless... yeah. Seems to be recording. I'm getting desktop audio. Yeah, this should be good. I'm not going to lie, I'm somewhat shocked that managed to work. Previously, a lot of the endings in my videos that were abrupt were because the game decided to go a bit cool. But this time, it just was fine. I'm not going to lie, I'm legitimately kind of astonished by it. I'm not complaining. But I am a bit astonished. You know? Still. Let's get to the water stone. Going back to Raven Rock. Might have been faster just
May I help you?
recall, but yeah. Alright, check the world map. And let's check the actual map. Looks like the water stone is at the base of the foothills near that little dent, so... how does that compare to that map? There's a little inlet, so it should be right around there? Looks like right now the route is north and a little west. So let's go north and a little west. I wonder how many of my recording issues are because Morrowind is just that old. Because I did some experimenting with Total War Warhammer 1, and I got a quite decently length recording without any of the weirdness that I get with Morrowind. It was a bit laggy, admittedly, but that's because, well... I'm trying to run 2 monitors instead of 1. Can't really blame the game for that, you know? Or the recording software, for that matter. You have absolutely nothing of interest, ma'am. Goodbye. Goodbye. You're born. Hello, Berserker. Berserkers will really always have booze, generally a weapon, and pretty much always boots and a hat. There we saw a bear bug itself out trying to get through a tree because Morrowind pathfinding is old. Very, very, very old. Seriously, this game is over a decade old. That is an exaggeration, it's literally over a decade old. 2002 release. It's 2017. Hold still, you little shit. Get over here.
Run while you
My guy actually jumped over him. These Reavers did not end out well for tangling with me. They didn't have the decency to carry any good loot. Shame! 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 Just die already, you blighters! I'm sure you all think you're very intimidating and impressive. Indeed, you knocked down about a quarter of my health by outnumbering several to one. Well done. So speaking of that, I think I'm going to repair my equipment now. Because I am a bit dinged up, I've lost at least 2 points of armor. Cover your ears. There we go. Back online. So I should be getting relatively near the water stone. That looks important. Is that the water stone or is it just a big rock on a hill? Yo, are you an important rock? Are you a magic rock or are you just a rock? Just a rock, okay, but ooh, barrow! Oh, that's Jolgair. I've already been here. Don't I feel silly now? Hello! You're dead! Die! You die! More boars! Yeah. Blood Moon is where the game really starts throwing numbers at you. I mean, numbers. You may have noticed that I kind of got buried there. Something to know, Reichling show up again in Skyrim, but they have a nice touch there for their raiders. Oh look, cavalry charge. Specifically, in Skyrim, the Reichlings and the boars are different entities. In this, they are not, but in Skyrim, they are, which means you can shoot boars out from under Reichlings, and you can shoot Reichlings off of the boars. Both of which really do look very cool. But overall, it doesn't really make them dangerous, as you can see. More Reichlings! 5 Reichlings! Will that be enough to defeat me? No, it will not, especially as one got stuck behind a rock for a while. Fascinating combat, sitting still and swinging your sword. Just die already! I need another repair session this soon. All Alexia's golden tips. It's annoying. That doesn't really count because she's dead now. This looks interesting. What is this? Ah, Wolf's Bane. There's one plant of this on the island. If you're a werewolf, you get to turn from, well, a werewolf to a normal person. Now cover your ears, because I just took a giant beating, so I'm fixing my shit. Back to full. Because my sword was about at under 75% durability, and that's when it starts really dropping in effectiveness at murder. Also, good god, that's a lot of Reichlings. This is like Reichling Central I wandered into. Wait to get to Oblivion, where bows actually start legitimately decent. See, in Skyrim, bows have travel time, which makes sense because, you know, you're firing a bow. It's not going to be like guns in most fiction where you can legitimately make the argument for them being hit scan because, well, human reactions don't really compare to the speed of a bullet. You know? I need to go down a bit, actually. But they also have that whole mischance thing, so it's very hard to tell when you're shooting at your target, you just flat out missed. Like, as in you were not aiming properly, and when you missed because the random number generator decided you should miss. In Oblivion, they changed this, and with the addition of the sync kills, I believe is the term in Skyrim, those canned animations, or quasi-canned in the case of the ranged attacks, I suppose. It really does become quite interesting. Loading area. Okay. I would rather fight pigs and wolves than more bloody Reiklings. Because seriously, we killed... God. 12 Reiklings. A full dozen Reiklings died there. The only issue is that I kept having to repair more than I really like. Come on, that's just ridiculous. Where's the water stone? I think it'd be by the water, logically, right? Bristleback. There goes the door. And really one of the disadvantages of the True Flame and Hope's Fire items, and is this one of those crazy people? Oh no, it's Stormlord Greyware!
Never will you meet a maiden so beautiful or unforgiving.
Alright, what night at sea? Oh, that's gotta suck. Not only does he have survivor's guilt, he's been cursed with eternal wakefulness. I know how it feels to be too awake to sleep, and that's ew. Oh god, he hasn't slept for 6 months. Sleeping for that long for a real person, while not sleeping, would have your body either forcibly shut you down, like you would just be walking along and then suddenly... wham! Or, well, you die. Just flat out, you're too tired, you die. And you know, that is not a fun way to go. Well, there are a few fun ways to go. I believe the classic is in a bed with a beautiful woman. But... I'm certain everyone has their own preferences.
Easier opponent.
I am better with a handsome man. Who am I to judge? More Reiklings, because we haven't seen enough of those. There's going to be a lot of Reiklings. An island. Let's go look at it and see if there's anything interesting. There probably isn't, but what the heck. Is that just a dead Horker? Or is that a living Horker and I'm stupid? It's moving. It's alive. Dead Horkers actually herald something very specific. I was worried an event had kicked off that I wasn't aware it could be kicked off at this point. It turns out it hasn't kicked off, so my memory is completely screwed. Go me! I'm not completely retarded at memorizing things. Yay! Ooh! That pillar shape, there's only one thing I know that is that! A loading area screen. No, not really. That being said, if you accumulate enough save games in Morrowind, you can actually run into issues with the loading area taking up to several minutes. I haven't gotten quite to that point, but you may have noticed the notable stuttering there. I think this is going to be the last stone we're going to do this episode, due to me having to take a bit of a break for that whole snow prince thing, you know? Travel west. Ah, so that's what that was for. Now for this I'm going to want a certain item. Where is it? Come on. This uses an enormous amount of loot. How many scrolls of Daynar's airy bubble do I have? 3, so that means 2 40 seconds each, 4 minutes. I have 12 minutes of air. Not counting the fact that if you cast a water-breathing spell, your air stock is fully refilled, so it's a good idea to wait until you're just about to choke to death. Here's the swimmer. Don't kill it. It actually has its own name. Yep. BM Horker Swim Unique. For a lot of the time, you're going to be able to just pop up for a bit and grab the air, so you don't want to go for Daynar's airy bubble or the bar trick right away. Just hop up for air and follow the swimmer. As you can see, it's not too difficult. Hello, fellow Horker. I'm keeping up with it pretty well, though, because I have very high athletics and speed. Not max, but I have it pretty high. It can be a bit boring to just stare at a seal's butt, though, but the Horkers, maybe it's a walruses. Honestly, I don't know what Horkers would be, like, species-wise. They're kind of seals, kind of walruses. All weird. That's something I'll grant Morrowind that very few fantasy games will actually get out of me. They actually make their fantasy biology actually fantastical, if that makes sense. Now you can see the cave that we're supposed to go to. That right there. This will vary, obviously, depending on your view distance from when you can see it, but we are quite a bit ways off the coast of Solstheim. Why is it playing combat music now? A slaughterfish got attacked by the swimmer. Kick! Now, surface and dive, 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 dive! As they put it in all those submarine movies. I wonder which one that originated from, because I'm not actually sure. I don't really watch a lot of movies, I'll be frank. Oh god, I'm going to run out of breath. And now I'm not. Now we find a skeleton! I believe this is just a generic Greater Champion. No, it's a skeleton berserker. I thought it was a Greater Champion. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen, I misled you. And here you can find a quality potion of Swift Swim and a potion of water breathing. And the Waters of Life. Honestly, the optimal thing to do here would have been to mark the Water Stone. How did I forget what it was called? But I didn't. Anyway, I have a quality potion of Swift Swim and my Daynar's airy bubble, so let's get back to the Water Stone, turn that in, and then we can leave off the episode. Because there's not really too much to say until we actually get to, well, final stone. I legitimately do not know what else to talk about. Waymer? No, we've discussed them. I've discussed the weird deep fluff, so most of it doesn't really apply to Blood Moon. can't really discuss the sermons. They don't actually have them all yet, unfortunately, and my physical copy of them, unfortunately, has also deserted me. Also, I think they're reflecting that I'm swimming so close to the surface that I can basically just pop my head up just by moving my neck and get a breath of air, so I don't actually need to breathe too much underwater. Or it could be the fact that I have water breathing on and I didn't notice still, because I am a derp. I suppose this little island would be very good if you want to find the water stone, though, because you can follow the coast, it sticks out quite a bit. I think you just head straight east from it to find the water stone on a hill, standing out quite a bit. I suppose I could talk about my plans for Total War Warhammer, but... Honestly, I'm probably not going to be able to do a video on the day of release. Not because I don't want to, mind. I do definitely want to do a video of Total War Warhammer on the day of release, but... that runs into the issue that, well, I've complained about my bad internet in the past quite a bit. It's the reason I only upload one video a day. More my internet cannot reliably handle. Yeah, I know it's dumb, just... look, don't question it, okay? It's stupid, it's annoying, I don't like it, but it's what happens. Which means that I may not be able to do it on release day due to how big it is, likely. Our journal has been updated. I don't believe we keep the Waters of Life. I believe it has been disposed of. No, we keep it. Okay then. It seems we're going to leave the episode off here. Not only have we gotten 2 more stones done, but I have figured out how to deal with it when Morrowind tries to minimize itself and get OBS Studio back to recognizing it, which is very helpful indeed. Next time, I'm going to find the windstone off screen and use my location as a marker for it, because it's probably very close to where I was wandering earlier when I first tried to find it, frankly. Also, be putting a mark back at the Skull Village, because my current mark is in Jolgar Barrow, mostly to save you guys some time of walking. I know, I'm lazy. Go with it, okay? I'm only human. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave in the comment section below, or in the threads on space battles and sufficient velocity that will be linked in the description. And for now, goodbye!